what you will leave us with on this particular topic that we
Okay.
have shown a vast interest in so far. Sekou.
Mhm. Yes. Thank you very much, Michael. And once again, I'm grateful for this opportunity to come here and for us to share ideas and learn. So I will start with Festus' question. He said,
Please.
"Where did we get it wrong?" And he actually talked about the last 500 years, what has happened to the African continent and African people. Where did we get it wrong, even in 2024, that we have some of these challenges? So I was trying to show this book for people who love reading like me, because I love reading a lot. So it's called The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. The Destruction of Black Civilization. So in that book, we find that how did Europeans come on our continent and put people on the ship and enslave them? And they did it for centuries, not 10 years, not 20 years, 100, 200, 300. They kept doing it. Why? Because there were some fundamental problems that we have to address about ourselves. One, there were ethnic disunity in most Africans' uh, kingdoms and most Africans' communities. At least clan, my tribe, my this, even within a kingdom, there was a lot of disunity. And these people came and they capitalized on that disunity and were able to exploit us. So you could tell one king to capture other people from Benin, or you can tell Benin people to capture other people from other neighboring kingdom so you can sell them. So that disunity has fragile, it kind of created a fragile place for us. There was no alliance among ourselves. We did not build any intermilitary alliance among our brothers. We were fighting among ourselves. So they used that opportunity to be able to conquer us. So now we are back in 2024. What is happening around African countries? The same disunity is going on. In one country, every ethnic group is fighting against each other. We have not been able, despite our education, to detribalize our mind. And one of the reasons I love this platform and I listen to Mayogu is very few people I go on the platform or listen to, because I listen to the man and I see myself, I see a detribalized African who says the truth based on the facts. Because most time, if you listen to average African, they hate a politician just because that politician is not in their trade. If the politician is a thief, as long as the person is from their ethnic group, he's a saint. Don't talk against Emiofele because he's from my village. Don't talk against Babangida because Babangida is Hausa. Don't talk against Obasanjo because Obasanjo is my Yoruba brother. We are all from Ogun. Once you are not able to cleanse yourself from that mentality, then you are not ready to build a nation, because the tribal consciousness will overrule your national consciousness. So if we all remain in the tribal consciousness, then we are wasting our time to say we are building a nation. So it is that detribalized consciousness. It's not given to everyone. And it doesn't matter whether you are a professor. You can even be a professor and still be captured in the tribal sentiment. And that tribal sentiment was the number one. There were many factors, but it's one of the factors that led to the fall of Africa. Because it was easy to build a slave port in Ghana, and the Ashanti were fighting against the other groups. So the Ashanti will capture somebody on a black person who looks like him, but just because he's from another kingdom, and then sell him to the British. He says, he's not my brother. But he doesn't know that the world has moved on from tribalism to nationalism and raised power. The Europeans are operating on nationalism and the power of race. We are operating on ethnicity and tribe. We cannot compete. It's very important that Africans understand that tribalism can only make us weak, and weak, it will never take us anywhere. Another thing I wanted to discuss why we are here is the issue of African elite and the African people. We, the African people, have not been able to stage a successful class revolution against our elites. All people have done it. That's why they are where they are. Mao of China staged a revolution against the Chinese elite, removed the kings, removed all the Europeanized Chinese, and was able to establish communism and did what he called cultural revolution. That led to modern China. Europeans were able to separate the state from the church. They said Christianity is okay, but enough with Christianity now. We want secularism, we want rationality. The Europeans were able to set the church away from the state. That's where the rationalism came in Europe, and that led to modern European civilization. Africa, even before the European king, we did not overthrow our kings. Our kings became semi-gods in our land, and some of them still are today. And our politicians continue to see themselves as kings because we have not staged a successful class revolution against these people, and no one will do it for us. So until we, the people, can stage a real class revolution to overthrow these people they call the bourgeoisie, they were systematically arranged to take over power. Their children, those in the Senate right now, and those who are in the presidency, their children will go study in UK and London. They will take over tomorrow. They will be the next in line in power. By the time they leave, their own generation will be next in line in power. The situation will continue. There has to be a class revolution that have to be staged by the African people. Most of the things we have in Africa, the democracy, the election, they are all copy and paste. We have not done it naturally. It was all copy and paste. That's why it's not working. Even when you look at the issue of feminism in Africa, when I read a book written by Chimamanda, I said it's beautiful, but feminism is the white woman staging a revolution against her husband. Our African women have not really defined their own feminism yet. But if they copy and paste, it's just copying another people's revolution. You don't know how they started their cultural history to lead to where they are. Because the white woman had no right to vote. She had no right to talk. She had no right. It happened for hundreds of years. So she staged a revolution against her husband. It's called the feminism. But the African woman have to define her own revolution. So what I'm saying that the revolution needed in Africa, we need to overthrow the system by ourselves and reestablish even our kings. We should not see all these our kings we are worshiping and think that they are in right position. Some of these kings were supposed to be removed even before European came. We were supposed to evolve to a point where we'll say, okay, Baba, this system is nice, but it belongs to the museum now. We want rational thinking. That's where we got to move to. So the African elite is still using the old system to keep you. They want to remove me because I'm Igbo man. They want to remove me because I'm Yoruba man. Then everybody they use the sentiment. They come to support you. But what they are not saying is that you belong to a class that you are enjoying and oppressing the rest of the people. So the class revolution, the African people must think. And there's only one way we can do it. We have to forget the tribe. And that comes to the issue of religion, because they have used it a lot to tell you, Musa, you cannot join Adewale in Ogun to fight the government. You know that you are Muslim. You are Christian. Why do you want to join these people? That the European also dealt with that. They call it separation of church from the state, where your religion is your personal affair. You cannot use your religion to bring it into the affair of state. Even what we have in Nigeria, every little thing, we start with opening prayer and closing prayer. The president is going to the church. They will pour the camera. You will not do that in USA. How many times you saw Joe Biden on CNN going to church? How many times you see the Prime Minister of UK, they are following him with camera. He's going to his shrine. But they will show your president in Abuja Central Mosque, and you guys will celebrate it. What about half of the population that doesn't believe in his religion? Then they feel like they have been excluded. So the revolution has to deal with both the culture, it has to deal with both the religion, it has to do with class. Unless we stage this revolution, we are not ready to build new states in Africa. And those of you who say, let's divide Nigeria, let's have a Biafra. Me, I told you guys, I'm not against you. But tomorrow, if you have Biafra, guess who will be your next president? This guy in Imo State, what is his name? Hope Uzodinma. Hope Uzodinma has a lot of money that he will be the next president of Biafra. Even Nnamdi Kanu will not even find himself on the ballot. What are you talking about? If you get Biafra tomorrow morning, Hope Uzodinma is closer to presidency than Nnamdi Kanu, because that is how the system works. So you got to, let's fight this system. Let's put the tribe. That's why Washowere tell you revolution now. He's telling you that there is a systematic issue, fundamental, that we have to deal with: the class, the religion, and the culture. We have to attack it, and we have to bring it to our generation in order for us to build a state that will protect our dignity.
Thank you so much, Sekou. You know, the first time you appeared on this platform, you left what we